And what the hell everything for Tuesday, May 18th, 2021, up on the podcast. Am I really that prepared for maskless crowds? More confirmed UFO sightings from the Pentagon. China's on Mars. Larry Flint's FBI file. A new term called geriatric millennials. John Goodman in his worst best role of all time. And remember to give the 5-year plan a look over on the Patreon page. I am so excited about the 5-year plan. Hopefully you'd like to support it. Join me. I don't ask for just money for nothing. I'm doing all sorts of extras on the Patreon page. Reactions, reviews, roundtable stuff. New thing coming up. I'll give more detail in this podcast called Smith's Favorite Things. I'm super excited for that. All sorts of stuff over on the Patreon page. $3 a month. And any sort of support is always appreciated. Link usually in any podcast description. But ask and ye shall receive. What the hell everything? What the hell everything? What the hell everything? My name is Smitty. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. And I was thinking the other day, how prepared am I really for maskless crowds? Like, I don't think I'm a pussy. Maybe I am. But, you know, I've worn them. I'm pro-mask in the CDC. Although I got to say, the amount of friends that, and people I know that are like, yeah, I know the CDC recommended that we don't have to wear masks if you're vaccinated, but I'm still going to wear a mask. I saw a post from a friend, Jake Draper, who's a Six Packs on Mars panelist. I've known him for a while, and he had a great post about it. He said, this is how science works, man. For all the people that were bitching about it before and being pro-science, this is science saying you don't need to wear a mask anymore. Makes sense to me. The fucking day that I don't have to wear a mask is gonna be one of the happiest days of my life, period. Because I hate it. I do it because I'm probably supposed to. It's probably the right thing to do. But it's like, how prepared am I really mentally for like maskless crowds? Because you know, when this fucking pandemic thing first started, I remember going into Meijer probably a month after everything got really big and everything shut down. And I got fucking cornered in Meijer, you know, where the aisle is such you can't back up, you can't go left, you can't go right, because there's fucking 3 people boxing you in, and that's the closest I ever came to like claustrophobia, and like I'm like ew, get away. I was fucking freaking out a little bit. That's the only time that's ever happened to me, and I'm just hoping. I fucking hate the idea of just having to wear a mask for the rest of my life. Dude, I just want to do the shit I used to do before. I just want to see my friends without having this fucking thing in front of your fucking face and you tell what? So I say I'm prepared. I say I'm ready to go, but I'm hoping I don't get in like, first of all, and this isn't even pandemic related. Now that I'm not in radio anymore, I was telling Brother Levi the other day, dude, I'm so fucking happy I don't have to go to any of these like rock and metal fests that I used to anymore. It's like, I looked at, what was it, the Napa Valley Bottle Rocket Festival coming up, and there's maybe like 6 bands that I would care to see out of that whole 3-day fucking lineup. But other than that, as far as pandemic like fear goes, I hope I wouldn't go to like a crowd and just be like, oh, I hope not. Who knows, man? And the whole reason I brought this up was because I was rolling past the, in Traverse City, in Michigan, where we're locally located, on Keystone Road, going up to Chum's Corners, or down to Chum's Corners, whatever. And that fucking soccer field that's on the east side of the road off Keystone there, just, if you've never seen it, it's, I don't know how many fucking soccer fields are on this thing, but it's probably 10 to, there's a dozen soccer fields there. It's fucking like this gigantic field. And I went past there on Saturday going to the grocery store. And I'm looking, there was thousands of people. And it's all these kids playing soccer. I'm not bitching. I'm not saying, oh my God, there's so many people, there's no masks, because there wasn't masks. But I still had this thing in my head as I'm going by the soccer fields. I'm like, oh my God, there's thousands of people with no masks. They're all going to die. They're not all going to die. I know better. But that's where it brings up. You're just not used to it. Man, I took the weekend off, mostly the weekend off from internet stuff, because sometimes, it's only me doing this podcast, and I have all these podcast ideas, I'm putting all these things together, and I'm trying to figure out how to schedule things. Sometimes I just need to take a couple days off and get the fuck off social media for my brain. Turn my phone off, and I binge watched all fucking weekend. I, first of all, caught up on The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know if you watch Walking Dead or not, but it's been so disappointing the last couple seasons. It's like fucking Full House. Whoever's in charge of that fucking show now is ruining it to the point of, like, it's a totally different show. When I say totally different show, in, like, vibe content. The thing about Walking Dead, it was so fucking uncompromising and brutal. And it's just, like, always this fucking heartwarming story now. And I kind of hate it. The point of that fucking long-winded story is that Walking Dead, hopefully it comes back. And I'm on the record as saying I'm going to stick with it because I was so invested in that show. I'm going to stick with it till the end. I'm going to figure out how it ends. I'm going to make this whole goddamn thing worth it. Which means I have to watch all, because it's all supposed to culminate, spoiler alerts, there's supposed to be some Walking Dead movies that Rick is going to be in, and I think, like, Fear the Walking Dead, and, like, whatever the new fucking all-teenage Walking Dead show is that Brother Levi watched, and he said, yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid. It's all supposed to culminate into one big fucking thing. So, I've been catching up on Fear the Walking Dead. It's been years. I left it in, like, season 2, I don't know, 5 seasons ago. Finally got caught up this weekend, but I binge watched the fuck out of Fear the Walking Dead, and I will say that is now way better than The Walking Dead. I mean, like I said, I'm caught up in that whatever episode was last night, 2 nights ago, was one of the best episodes of Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead I've seen in a long time. So I'm so happy at least Fear the Walking Dead is good. So I caught up on that. But my new favorite show is Mayor of Easttown. Now, I was talking about Jean Smart a couple podcasts ago and how she's like, oh my God, she's my new favorite actress because she's in everything and she's so good. But she's in that, Mayor of Easttown. Kate Winslet, who I'm 100% in love with and have been ever since Titanic, unabashedly, I don't give a fuck, who cares, who knows that I watch and love Titanic, 100% guilty pleasure, except I don't feel guilty. But Kate Winslet, I'm in love with her. It's on HBO. And it's so fucking well written, so real. And I don't know, man, that's a top 10, maybe top 5, and they're only 5. I just finished episode 5. Maybe a top 5 show for me. It's that good. If you've never watched it, and never heard of it, it's on HBO, Mayor of Easttown, and I cannot recommend that show enough. Every episode is great. And when I say real, I mean like really real. Like everybody in that show is fucked up and has some sort of mental illness. Because I feel like that's pretty reflective of society just in general. There's so many people out there that are walking around just as fucked up as you are, and you have zero idea. You're like, oh, that person's put together. Nope. That being said, it's so real in that aspect. Great story, great writing, and I think it's only a limited series, which is super bummer, and there's only 2 episodes left of Mayor of Easttown, and can't wait for that next Sunday. Fucking aliens, you guys. Here's the thing. Pretty certain that UFOs are a real thing. Like, the evidence is fairly conclusive, not that it's aliens. Let me clarify my stance. I am fairly certain that the UFO sightings are aliens. That doesn't make it true. I think it is. But they are confirmed UFO reports. This time, another confirmed leaked video, mind you, from the Pentagon. Actually made it to NBC News. I posted it on my personal Facebook page. Oh my God, this is making national news finally. I can't believe it. It's a black and white clip taken aboard the USS Omaha in July 2019. Whatever radar or thing, we're going to watch it here in a hot second. But these are all, like, credible sightings. It's not some fucking crackpot. It's the Navy. They're documenting it. that whatever pilot was on Rogan, Joe Rogan, a couple years ago, the sighting he had in like 2016, it's insane shit if you've ever watched it and really listened to it and looked at it because I don't, let me put this the right way. I try to, even though I really want there to be fucking aliens, I still try to take a step back and look at it from a objective point of view. And objectively, I can say that this is pretty fucking compelling evidence where you can hear these guys talking. Let's play this video. It's about a minute long, and we might play it twice because it's pretty fucking awesome. So, again, black and white photo on board the USS Omaha, and it's just zinging back and forth. Fucking real shit doesn't do that. Real shit. Earthly craft don't move like that. Now, there's always a possibility, it's been brought up to me, it's going to splash actually into the ocean and disappear in a hot second.
We got a lot of white water out there, some 6-foot swells. Whoa, it's getting close.
Yeah, we have 31 knots sustained wind, topside, gust of 40.
What was splashed?
Boom!
Mark Bering
Splashed into the water. Dude, that's insane and awesome. I want there to be aliens so much because I love the idea of blowing up the idea, and confirmed aliens would certainly blow up the idea. Religious ideas and ideas about inner conflict. Why are we fighting each other when there's so much other shit out there? So that being said, it's finally making news. National news. This stuff is going to come hot and heavy, I feel like, in the next 3 to 5 years. Really hot and heavy. I feel like we're going to get more confirmed sightings. I feel like this is a real possibility in the next 3 to 5 years. And blowing up the idea, it's my favorite thing. From blowing up the idea to blowing up Mars. I'm just kidding. China is not going to blow up Mars, but they did land on Mars. Its first pair of robots, China landed on the surface of Mars on Friday, confirmed on state-affiliated social media. Second country to land on Mars, the Tianwen-1 spacecraft ejected the rover lander bundle for a Martian touchdown 7 p.m. the other day. I like that, man. Now, it says in the story, the second country to do so successfully. They say that the Soviet Union in 1971 landed the Mars 3 spacecraft in 1971, and it communicated for like 20 seconds before going dark all of a sudden. So I would actually call that a success. If you landed on Mars and communicated before going dark, that's baby steps. How many fucking years ago is that? 50 years ago, 1971, that Soviet Union landed on Mars. I call that a huge success. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with Mars. I just love the idea of us human beings, which is the whole point of the 5-year plan, essentially, where I'm going to hike Ireland for a year. Just exploring, man. I'm tired of reading about shit and and seeing things on TV or in a movie. You know, I want to go experience things. I want to figure things out and walk around and touch things and see things for myself. The whole point of being a human being, I think, is to explore and figure things out. We got big ass brains, man, and I love the fact that we're going to Mars. I love the fact that like human beings are starting to figure out the things that have always been science fiction. I love that shit, and I'm sure China's going to blow up Mars, 100%. Just kidding, it's not going to happen. Larry Flint passed away a few months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, something like that. And it's like here. It's not like I don't like Larry Flint necessarily. You know, he's a misogynistic smut peddler who is terrible to women and just kind of a terrible human being. But it's a great example of like sometimes terrible people can do useful or good things. I'm not saying he did a good thing in this case necessarily, but as an advocate for the First Amendment, Larry Flint is up there with anybody. I feel like just the very fact that he took so many shits on the United States government, which I appreciate in a person. I appreciate people saying, fuck you. Like, that's how we got to the United States, and that's how we became Americans, by saying fuck you to assholes. So Larry Flint, February 10th, he died. They got his Vice, I should say, got his FBI file. And they call them the 10 wildest revelations from the FBI file on Larry Flint. And some of the quotes from court are just astounding. I can't even, because as much as I appreciate people that tell people to go fuck themselves, I don't know if I could have the balls to do it, although I've told people to go fuck themselves fairly recently. Not in these words, though, where he says, fuck this court. You denied my counsel of choice. 9 assholes and 1 token cunt. Goddamn motherfuckers. Man, that's Larry Flint in an actual court of law. Where's the big one that I saw in here? Larry Flint's top 10 revelations from his FBI file. Oh my God, look at this fucking picture. I'm going to have to... man... What an asshole. But again, I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment. Where is this fucking thing? The exploding wheelchair. That's where it is. Allegedly, Larry Flint was going to blow up the Supreme Court. He, well, again, this is alleging from the FBI report. Larry Flint had asked both Gordon Novel, whoever that is, and Mitch Werbel to fill the tubes of his wheelchair with C4 plastic explosives and man, right out of fucking, what is that, Batman versus Superman? Dawn of Justice? While appearing before the U.S. Supreme Court and thereby kill himself and all the members of the court. Additionally, he requested Werbel and Novel to make him a kamikaze vest. I do not support that action in the name of free speech. But, man, fucking Larry Flint. Oh my God, I don't even know what that is. There's DeLorean tapes. There's all kinds of shit. If you want that link, hit it up. Hit me up and ask and ye shall receive. Larry Flint, what a fucking asshole. Man, I saw this story about what's a totally false myth about your country that's 100% believed. It's from the Poke. That makes me think of, what is it, National Lampoon's European Vacation, The Pig and the Poke. Anyway, it's from the Poke out of the UK, and it's a Reddit post, a Reddit thread, where they ask what's totally false myth about your country that's 100% believed, or at least a lot of people believe it. So there's a couple highlights, some funny ones. In Romania, many people believe we have vampires. Like fucking Dracula. But in my 700 years of living here, I haven't even seen one. I asked my mates back in the castle, and they also haven't seen any, and they've been around for longer than I. Next, Ireland, where I will be taking the 5-year plan, 1-year hiking tour to go podcast pubs, find out local history in pubs, talking to old regulars. That being said, that the Irish are the biggest drunks in the world. Completely false and mean, as we're only the 2nd biggest drinker in the world, but we hope to get 1st place next year. I appreciate taking that initiative. Britain, people think British people are either stiff upper lip public schoolboys or cockney bricklayers, football hooligans. There's a whole world of people in between. Some of us don't even like football. One of my friends doesn't even drink tea. Not sure why she's my friend, to be honest. Australia, that we say shrimp on the Barbie. It was an ad campaign to appeal to Americans. It was the most successful tourism campaign still to the day, but nobody in Australia ever fucking says shrimp on the Barbie. In Wales, which I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel really fucking stupid at the things I just find out. Like, I never knew, and this is probably only up until I probably found this out 15 to 20 years ago. I didn't know that Wales was an actual country. I thought it was like a state or a county or something in the UK. I always thought Welsh people were just living in some fucking... I just thought it was farmland in England. I think I realized when Catherine Zeta-Jones, who was Welsh, then I kind of looked her up because she was fucking hot. I'm like, Wales? What's that? Oh, it's an actual fucking country like Ireland or Scotland. Go in there in 5 years. Anyway, the myth about Wales is that Welsh people shag sheep. Temptation is there, but the static shock wouldn't be worth it. Ow. In France, this is fucking great. I've never seen a mime in Paris. Man, the French get shit on probably more than any other European country. There's France. Ireland historically has been shit on by England specifically. Who else in Europe has been shit on the most? Polish people. You name it. There's all kinds of people that have been shit on, but I feel like the French get shit on the most. Man, when people think of France, they just think of like mimes and like fromage and fucking there's nothing. I want to go. I'm going to go and like tour Europe a little bit on my 5-year plan, hiking tour, but if I see a mime in Paris, I will shit my pants. Just kidding. That's gross, and French people don't like pooping pants. Iceland was not named as some part of some conspiracy to keep folks away from a good thing. The name comes from the fact that early settlers arrived during summer and then suffered horrible losses of livestock and people once winter hit and icebergs were seen filling the fjords. It was more of a warning than anything that this place sucked. Greenland, on the other hand, was probably named as much to make it sound more hospitable. That's funny. Holland, oh so much according to popular opinion, I should be a weed-smoking, clog-wearing tulip farmer living in a windmill. Can you guess where I am from yet? This is funny. Nigeria. That everyone here is into scamming people. Yeah, it's just always a couple fucking assholes gotta ruin it for everybody. Now everybody from Nigeria is scamming. That's not true. The United States. That everybody, we aren't all overweight people wearing Old Navy American flag t-shirts and khaki shorts. Only like 60% of us. Honestly, one of my goals when I go to Ireland is to make people think better of Americans. Honestly. Canada, everyone drinks maple syrup, moose everywhere, and saying sorry all the time. Kenya, Kenyans are all long-distance runners, live in huts, speak no English, and have pet wild animals. Australia, that it's always hot in Australia. It's not. And then finally, I do believe this is from Great Britain as well, that crumpets and tea make you posh. I can get 9 crumpets for a quid form from me local Asda, far from posh. Oh man, my British accent's getting better! John Goodman is, to me, one of the greatest American actors of all time. Done so completely understated, but been in some fantastic movies. I fell in love with him when he was on Roseanne, from The Big Lebowski to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You name it. If fucking John Goodman is in a movie, I'm going to watch it. What is that one that he is the total, like, evil psycho villain in? It's J.J. Abrams flick. Is it 10 Cloverfield Lane? Something like that. Anyway, John Goodman. And this is probably the best, worst thing I've ever seen from him, for one. For two, in general. I fucking want to drop some acid and watch this Slotomania commercial with John Goodman. How much fucking money did they pay you?
My life is awesome, but it wasn't always that way.
What?
I've been to some dark places.
What the fuck?
Dark places. Wasting my days pressing buttons. Or more like depressing buttons. But then, one day, I thought to myself, yeah, another slow, boring... Wait, what's it? Slotomania? Finally, excitement! Slotomania makes every day fantastic. You never know what...
I don't even really give a fuck about Slotomania, but I kind of want to find out now.
Or even a new friend for life. Never knowing what's coming. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is excitement. So yeah, my life is awesome.
You know, I'm trying to think of like how they pitched this idea to John Goodman. His fucking agent said, "Hey, John, I got this thing for you. There's this company called Slotomania, and they want you to be their spokesman." Now, here's the thing, John. It's like a fucking acid trip. You're like, you're the end of the finger. You are on the end of somebody's finger while they're playing slot games. It's like an acid trip. Really? Really? How much are they paying me? That fucking You had me at hello. Some things you just shake your head at, you know? Pregnant mom plans to live stream herself giving birth on OnlyFans for £10,000. Carla Bellucci, she's been on OnlyFans for a bit now. Here's the thing. I was going to get my friend Josh Thomas to come on the podcast for this because he historically has a pregnancy fetish. He gets turned on by pregnant women. I've busted his balls on other podcasts before, but he is what you call employed. he can't get here for the podcast recording. But Carla Bellucci, is that her name, Carla? Yeah. She has an OnlyFans account for people with pregnant fetishes. She's made like 40 grand on there. She's having, obviously she's pregnant. She is going to live stream on OnlyFans her birth. I am assuming from the bottom angle, and there's a point where it's too weird. You know, there's a point where it's too fucked up, where you got to just ask yourself, do I feel like a good person watching this? How do I feel about myself watching that? If you hate yourself, you probably shouldn't watch it. If you like yourself, if you're okay with it, then go ahead. She's doing it. I'm not questioning that. But some things are just too much, man. Like, and now here's the thing. I wanted to live stream my sister-in-law's birth. I wanted to do a podcast from the delivery room for brother Josh and sister Melissa. But I wasn't going to go the bottom angle. I was just going to get everybody else's reaction and be a ways away. I didn't want to see any gross stuff. But if I could come on, that would have been amazing, right? But I didn't want to go from the bottom angle. There'd probably be all kinds of fucking weirdos, though, that would watch it and be like, go to the bottom, go to the bottom. Ew. Sorry, Melissa. Sorry, Josh. Man, I just bought Donnie Darko. If you've never watched Donnie Darko, it's fucking fantastic science fiction, kind of time-traveling, trippy as fuck with Jake Gyllenhaal in, apparently they're coming out with a new film. It's not a sequel necessarily, but it's set in the same universe as Donnie Darko. But I'm intrigued because I'm always trying to find out, and I don't want anybody to tell me, but every time I watch Donnie Darko, I'm still just trying to figure out what the fuck happened. I've read all kinds of like online threads of people who think they figured out what's going on where. I don't want anybody to tell me. I don't want anybody else's theory. I like to have my own theories about this. So I'll be sure to check that out. Although that's not a sequel, it leads us into this article from BuzzFeed. It is 21 of the worst movie sequels in movie sequel history from BuzzFeed. So let's go down this list, shall we? It is fantastic. Most of these I didn't even know existed. Like number 1, fucking Kindergarten Cop 2, apparently with Dolph Lundgren from 2016. This is how apparently nobody has any money for promotion. Hey guys, you want to see Kindergarten Cop 2? Son of Mask? I forgot that was a thing. I always kind of wanted to watch it, but not that much. Mean Girls 2, never watched Mean Girls 1, which I've actually heard is not terrible, and I've actually heard is funny, but I still, some kind of like teeny bopper stuff I just can't wrap my head around. Number 4, every fucking Home Alone sequel after Home Alone 2. I was talking to Brother Levi about this just the other day, about Home, because we're both big fans of Home Alone and Home Alone 2. It's a part of our DNA since we were kids. But Home Alone 3, I was mentioning this, and I said, I just happened to. I'd never watched Home Alone 3, but I just happened to turn it on whatever HBO channel. It was the last 5 minutes as I was getting ready to watch something else that was happening, airing after it. And I caught the last 5 minutes of Home Alone 3. I'm like, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Levi brought up a good point. He's like, you took a franchise, or at least a couple of movies in Home Alone and Home Alone 2, where it was great because it appealed to both kids and adults. That's the key in like a great family movie. You know, if the adults are going to like it, if the teenage kids are going to like it, and the little kids are going to like it, everybody can enjoy this together. And he turned it from that into just some bullshit fucking kid movie that nobody wants to watch. Is that Scarlett Johansson in that movie, though? Now I got to look that up. Honestly, I'm such a sucker for like fucking IMDb. I will look up anything. Who is that? Where have I seen them before? It's such an easy fucking thing. Hang on. It's Home Alone 3. Can't even believe I'm looking this up. I don't even want this to go into my fucking history. That is Scarlett Johansson. Nailed it. Highlander 2, The Quickening. I've never watched. I watched the first Highlander a little bit. I'm like, nope, not for me. Speed 2, Cruise Control. Oh my God, Sandra Bullock was in that movie though. Never saw, never wanted to. Independence Day, Resurgent. I checked it out. Total garbage. I've never watched American Psycho 2. I watched the first one. Thought it was pretty good. Kind of overrated. I just hate the 80s vibe a lot of times because it's so super cheesy to me. But American Psycho 2 with Mila Kunis, I mean, I'll pretty much watch everything with Mila Kunis in it. I'll give it a chance because Mila Kunis is in it and it's worth it. Oh, yeah. This fucking movie. Wonder Woman 1984. I didn't even get past it. I tried. I heard it was terrible. And like everything that I watch or enjoy, I'm like, I'll leave it up to me. I don't care what the critics say. I'm going to watch it. And because I always find a gem that gets shit on that I'll fall in love with. But it was so fucking terrible. Next, Cars 2. Nope, don't have kids. Good Day to Die Hard. They should have stopped after Die Hard with a Vengeance. Fuck right off. Fuck right off. People who have a hard time with like how Star Wars went, stop pissing and moaning because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Don't get me started on this. I could have a whole fucking... Matter of fact, once we get to the end of this list, I will tell you about a brand new podcast where we're going to hit things like Star Wars and really get into it. Men in Black International at 13, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I'm pretty sure that Brendan Fraser is my new hated actor more than like Bill Paxton. I tried to watch The Mummy and anything with Brendan Fraser in it, and I'm like, man, this could actually be good if this fucking stupid asshole wasn't in this movie. Star Trek, fuck, words, Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation. Apparently that fucking sucks, but not as much as me not being able to say words. Here's another one. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I will agree, it was the worst of the franchise. But it's still a fun Indiana Jones movie. I don't understand people that take a shit on that. Is it because of the atomic bomb where Indiana Jones hides in a refrigerator? Maybe, but it's not any more absurd than people's fucking faces melting off in Raiders of the Lost Ark or Temple of Doom when he pulls it out and rips out a heart from its chest. Is it because it was aliens and not God? I'm trying to figure out what people hate about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because it was a fun Indiana Jones movie. I'll fight Levi to the death about this fucking thing too. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and the sequels after. I'm going to agree with this to an extent. Terminator 3, I actually really fucking liked. It wasn't as good as T2 or even Terminator the first one. Put every other sequel, especially Terminator Salvation, that fucking movie. And then there was another Terminator movie, two other ones. I think Dark Fate I actually kind of enjoyed. But there's, at some point, you get to too much time jumping where it becomes super fucking confusing and I just lose interest because I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this movie now? Come on, James Cameron. Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, Jurassic Park 3, Battle Royale 2, Requiem from 2003. Never saw the first one. As a former periodic and current service worker, still waiting. Now that's the sequel to, is it just Waiting? With Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and I can't remember who else. Anyway, you can relate to this movie, and it makes you feel good about hating customers. And apparently the sequel sucked, so hey, fuck that movie. I was going to get a spoof song produced of It's Raining Men, but it was Raining Mice, but I am not that, I am certainly not that motivated to do that. But out of Australia, whatever grain silo this is, it's pumping out grain. Apparently, you want to talk about infested with mice. This is the grossest. All I can think of is just if you didn't catch it and you send out whatever grain and there's just disease and fucking mice and shit in it. Oh, look at that infestation. Oh my god. Oh my god! It's fucking... Oh! I'm not even afraid of mics! Yeah, real funny. Dude. You gotta, like... You have to empty out all of that grain. You have to clean out... Right? Everything's fucking terrible in Australia, man. It's raining mice. Ew. This story is out of China, but is actually reported on from an Australian newspaper, Australian 9 News. And the headline, students who hacked KFC for $31,000 worth of chicken are now in jail in China. Now, apparently, they're college students. Now, what apparently they did is there was some loophole between KFC's app in China and the restaurant's page on the Chinese social network WeChat, which allowed them to use a voucher for free food while also being refunded. So you got free food plus you're being refunded. And that was the loophole. They fucking nailed that for 31 grand and a bunch of chicken. I mean, as a college student, you're like, dude, we got so much KFC, I don't even know what to fucking do, and this is the best. Everybody's having, like, KFC parties. Imagine that conversation in prison. What are you in for? I stole a fuckload of chicken. Man, I could probably call Brother Levi for this story, because apparently Brother Levi is 37? He's a or maybe 38. Are you a geriatric millennial? That is a new term. And it's a micro generation. Anybody born between 1980 and 1985. Now, the reason I saw this story is it was apparently geriatric millennials are the most adept at, like, dealing with and bridging the gap between generations. You can talk to old people, you can talk to young people, you can communicate, help the two communicate. Man, as soon as we get a geriatric millennial in the presidency, that's the fucking next thing, right? And the very idea that Brother Levi, because I always say it, that he has been an old man even when he was a kid, that he's always just like to get off my fucking lawn since he's been a little kid. So, geriatric millennial. Take that one with you. Let's make fun of this reality show on, I think it's Discovery Plus is what it's on. And I don't want to take a shit necessarily on, being creative or things that people like. But at some point, this gets so stupid that you just have to mock. And you have to be like, stop it. Because there is a show called The Laundry Guy on Discovery Plus. I happened to just see this in passing, a little clip, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So let's play this minute. It's like I think it's a trailer of The Laundry Guy. Get the fuck out of here.
My name is Patrick Richardson.
Oh, wow.
And people call me the Laundry Guy.
Welcome to Laundry Camp.
My laundry camps are the hottest ticket in town.
Soak them in hot water.
Hot
water, it'll be okay.
My granny taught me that laundry is all about love. Clean clothes are a privilege, and while the methods may have changed,
You need to have vodka in your bar and your laundry room.
Learn something new every day.
some things never will.
Just rub it in.
It's like magic.
It's laundry magic.
We wear our life stories.
Look,
First dates,
if you're
wedding
fucking
days,
worried about
hundreds of
laundry
baby
that much where you
When it
go
comes
to
to
see the
stains,
laundry
stories
guy,
behind them,
I don't know. Maybe it's just
everything comes
because
out of
I'm single and a bachelor and I fucking throw everything in.
I'm so excited.
Maybe I need to go see the laundry guy. No, I don't. Fuck off. What is wrong with people? And look, am I overreacting? There's a possibility, I may be completely overblowing how stupid the laundry guy is. And again, to each their own. But at some point, you just got to realize we're inching closer to destruction. We're inching closer to idiocracy. We're inching closer to just being a bunch of fucking dummies. Stop it, the laundry guy. Stop with the reality shows. Do you think they'll ever stop? Do you think people will ever get tired of reality shows? Because things come in cycles, There's fads and there's phases. I don't know. But that's a question for another podcast. Let me get the hell out of here. Ooh, I wanted to mention the new podcast we got going. I know I have so many podcasts, and it's probably hard to keep track of. Trust me, hard for me to keep track of too. But I just love doing the shit. I'm changing the way I've kind of have been scheduling all of these podcasts. For instance, the Six Packs on Mars podcast. You know, if I need to let my ideas flow a little more freely rather than scheduling myself and saying I need 6 questions to come up by Tuesday so I can record this podcast for Friday, and then I'm doing what the hell everything's, and I'm trying to do all these things along with the Rock and Roll Roundtable. So that's not going to change me doing all of these podcasts, but the way I schedule them has to be a little more organic. As soon as I get it ready and prepped and I'm ready to record, then I'll do that. But the new podcast that I'm, putting on my plate is called Smith's Favorite Things. I had so much fun with this fucking Photoshop. By the way, go to the We Three Smiths Facebook page. I got a little contest running for the next couple days where I have Photoshop outtakes where I took stupid pictures of myself. And if you can Photoshop those into just some kind of hilarious, embarrassing, uncompromising, or compromising positions, hopefully not filthy, those won't be able to be public, but I'll always accept them in private. Man, I'm sending out these fine Smitty Dicks coasters to pretty much anybody that does these Photoshop projects. So you want to dump them in the comment section of that post, go to the We Three Smiths Facebook page and check it out. But the new podcast is Smith's Favorite Things. And essentially, it's just going to be conversation, retrospective, sort of commentary about things I love. Brother Levi as well. First one coming up with a good friend and panelist on the Rock and Roll Roundtable, December Lee. She's going to sit in with me, and we're going to listen to the Foo Fighters' Color in the Shape for the 25th anniversary? Some kind of anniversary. Its birthday's coming up here in a couple days. So we're going to listen to that, and we'll stop, we'll pause it, we'll talk about it. It's just kind of a opportunity to just listen and talk about the shit I love, Smith's Favorite Things. First one, Foo Fighters' Color in the Shape, going to be on Spotify, and then the next one after that, I know Brother Levi and I are going to do Master of Puppets, Pulling Your Strings. That just turned 35 years old this year. Master of Puppets. So that's going to be on Spotify as well. Listen for that coming up in the next few days. And remember the 5-year plan. Hit up the Patreon page. I would really appreciate you checking that out. Smith's Favorite Things video editions going to be on the Patreon page. And we're going to really delve into our favorite movies, watch some movies, and commentate on those as well. So hit up the Patreon page, all sorts of extra stuff, and I really appreciate you checking out the podcast and everything in general, you guys. In the meantime, my name's Smitty, and what the hell everything? What the hell everything?